Joining me. My name is Cedric Bailey, and I am so glad to have you with us on today. Got a message on social media from a lady that I know in Fort Worth, Texas. Her name is Linda Moore Evans, and I hope that I get the right. Is it Evans Moore or Linda Moore Evans?
Yes, it's Linda Moore Evans, but we have since I came to your wedding and such, we are in Forest Hill, Texas.
Yes, yes, in Forest Hill, Texas, and then also you and I had the opportunity to work with our good friend Miss Pruitt at the Levita News.
Oh, yes, the Black Voice.
Yes, yes. Well, anyway, I just want to take this time to share with everybody about Linda's story of how she got taken advantage of. Now, before I have her share that story, I want to remind everybody that every day there are people that are trying to destroy you. How do they
Yes.
do it? They they call you on the phone. They attack our senior citizens and they try to take advantage of them. And sometimes people do things so smooth that can make you actually believe what they're saying is true.
Mhm.
For
Yes.
example, just this alone this morning, I'm watching CBS this morning, and they're on there talking about scams that go online on these dating websites. I mean, they can take pictures, they can make them look so great. But Linda had a situation that happened to her. And if you wonder why do I have this background behind me? Because it's
Hmm.
the artist that I love listening to back in the day, and that was Frankie Beverly and Mays. Now, if you
Oh,
haven't
yes.
now, if you haven't heard, Frankie is doing his farewell tour. I mean, he's been traveling. He's gotten up there in age and everything, and he
77.
yes, and he has decided to call it quits. That's
Yes.
when the enemy tries to get people out there that will use your name and take advantage of you. So at
Oh,
this
yes.
time, I'm going to hear from Linda, and she's going to share her story.
Oh, yes. I just want to thank you, Mr. Cedric Bailey, for having me on because I do intend to go live and worldwide so that I can protect Mr. Frankie Beverly's name. I am a fan of his for many, many years. I don't know. I just love his music. I love his message to the people because he's trying to unite us. He's not dropping it like it's hot. He's not running around the world being with different women and such. He is trying to get God's message across to us with unity and love and understanding. And he has done a great many concerts over 50 years and he's just phenomenal. And I think that's why the scammers targeted me. I'm sure they've targeted many other people, but I want to get the word out there because I have been scammed. I put live footage on Facebook to let them know that we got a message from the fan base to say that there is a scammer out there, but evidently there is more than one. There are many. And so I have been doing some testing on him. I've been scammed ever since December after his concert, and they told me that he was going to come here and I had to pay this money to get him to come and do a meet and greet because my mom is 91. I'm trying to encourage her to get up out of the bed and live again and do again and feel better about herself. Now, for years, she has been listening to me walking and dancing down the hall, singing his songs. She even know a couple of them. And she just wanted to meet this guy. Who is this man you just keep singing and going on all day, all night? That's who I love. I love Frankie Beverly. And I mentioned once that in 1990 about I took ill. I was definitely ill. I was so ill they put me in the hospital and as a Jane Doe because I was so sick. They were trying to save my life. I couldn't hear anything. They weren't talking to me. My vitals, everything, my organs were shutting down. And I just started praying. I said, okay, nobody's talking to me. So, Lord, if I'm dying, I need to talk to you right now. And I said, if you'll just please save my life, I will let the world know that you have saved my life. And
Mm-hmm.
if you would just help me, I will help other people and do what you need me to do. But I just need you to do one thing for me, Lord. You know I love Frankie Beverly, God. Would you please make me his guardian angel? So when my brother passed away after taking care of him in 2020 for 6.5 years, I was able to go to the concert.
Yeah.
And every concert I went to, I would just lift my hands toward Frankie Beverly and pray for him because I really felt like God had granted me my desire to be his guardian angel. And of course, everyone in the world loves Frankie Beverly, but they don't love him like I do. I love this man. I just want to see him, meet him. I want him to come to this house and bless my mom because of the kind of person that he is. He's a Christian man, and I know that if he came here, that he would be kind to her and make her feel good about herself. And that's what I was needing. So that's why I went to the extent of doing what they asked me to do. They sent me copies of plane flight tickets that he was going to be here on this day or the other. I'm standing at the door, oh, just waiting for the security and the entourage to come up and waiting to, welcome him in. And he never showed. This is not his fault. And he has nothing to do with any of this, but I didn't know because all of the months, it's all the way from December to right now, they are still contacting me, thinking that I'm going to send money to them because they know that I love this man. I love him. If I were to see him, I would probably ask him to marry me because it's leap year. Okay.
Yeah.
Really. I've been celibate since 1990, so I haven't been dating or trying to be with anyone, but I love this man. Okay, so that's why I fell for it. They have an app I found. I didn't know that it was an app because I thought I was actually talking to him, and it's his voice. Everyone knows his voice. They may know his voice on singing, but I watch every single one of his videos or interviews, and I know his voice, I know his laugh, I know everything, and everything was there. And if I asked a question, they would answer me with that voice. And I said, how do I know this is you? And they would send me photos and stuff like that and say that the management would not allow them to, go FaceTime and such. So, and it was so romantic. As a matter of fact, I have about 4 big gallon wine bottles with love notes that they have sent. If I could turn it toward there, you see that big wine bottle there, or can you see it yet?
Yeah, we can see it right there. We can see it.
Okay, and you see his picture. They sent me roses. These are the dried roses that they sent me.
I
I
see
mean, they
that.
weren't dried, but it was beautiful. I have about 4 of these bottles of the notes. I rolled them up like scrolls and such because it was it was wonderful. It was like I'm really talking to this man, and they never talked sexually or cursed or said anything out of the way. So, it was kind of like they had all his mannerisms, together, and they knew the things that he liked and things that he had done and stuff that has nobody would know but him. They relayed some things to me, and so they trapped me like that. Like, okay, I can't, get out. I can't come because our management team has to have this money, and and they would have the management team call me and such, all of that. But then when I'm waiting for him at the door, later on, someone would call and say, "Oh, I must tell you, I have something that you need to know.
Mm.
He's not going to be able to come. His family, this or that, or we have to have his police department to come. They want him protected at his age, just all kind of things." And so I would hang up from them and cry. I didn't cry out in public because I knew that he wasn't doing this, but I knew that if I wanted him here, that I was going to have to do whatever they asked me to do to get him here because I wasn't just talking to the management part, which it turns out is not his management team. And I
Yeah.
want people to know that if you get someone on Facebook, they have his photograph and you click on it and they'll say, oh, hi, I noticed you're this fan and whatever, blah, blah, blah. They uh, veered me over to WhatsApp and then Telegram and
Yeah.
all the way, you talk to them and you chat and oh, it's just all this lovely talk. It's just,
Well, let me
it's
just take this moment after allowing you to be able to speak.
okay.
And remember now, I'm just going to just break it down to you and tell you like this, okay? The
Okay.
world
Be
has,
kind.
I am. The world has changed from back in the day when we first started going to
Yeah.
these different venues. I
Mm-hmm.
remember as a teenager being able to see him in concert in New Orleans, and that
Mm-hmm.
was back in the day in the 70s. So
Mm-hmm.
here we are now. We didn't have no internet. We didn't have no cell phones and anything like this. But you have
Mm-hmm.
what they have people that they are called hackers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got nothing else better to do but just come up with ideas to take advantage of people. Now, I'm going to tell you, if it was in a gospel scene or anything, I know from a gospel scene because of my years of being in the industry. If an
Yes.
artist is going to meet you, number one, they are not going to come to your home. Okay,
Okay.
that's not going to happen. They do what they call a meet and greet, and they have what they call a green room. So let's say, for example, if you were to go watch him in concert, because here he's going to either be in Grand Prairie, Texas at one of the venues there, or he would come to Oklahoma and come to one of the casinos or so. But most of the
Mm-hmm.
times, the people don't want to deal with that type of situation because you got what they call these groupies, and we know that they have fan base and they know that people will pay the money. It's just like people who like Beyonce, okay? They will
Mm-hmm.
pay the money to see their favorite artist, no matter what. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they would say to you is say, okay, well, if you've been selected and if it's legitimate, then they'll give you the date and the time, and they will ask you to meet them on site at a location. You would probably have to get there about at least 2 hours before the event, or they would let you know before the event happens, and a representative would come take you backstage to a meet and greet area. The world has changed now. And so what we want to do is make sure that we let people know about your story so it don't happen to anybody else. Now,
Yes, and
I
to my intelligence, Cedric, let
mhm,
me tell you, the reason they said they were coming here is because my 91-year-old mother is bedbound.
yes,
She cannot go anywhere. He was coming to encourage her.
yes,
And that's why it was so to speak,
yeah,
arranged to come here to the house.
and that's where they'll do because they know you
Mhm.
have a need and that you would do anything
Yes, to
for
make
your
her
beloved,
day.
yeah, to make her day. And it's a shame they had to be like that, you know. If they were really sincere and they couldn't make it, then they would go ahead and send a card or they would do something.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so here, what do we learn from this? How do we go from here and go to the next level? Well, basically, we're taking the time to let people know there are things that happen. I've seen situations where people go on cruise ships, and if you don't have your money with you and you try to use one of those ATMs there, then that person is going to try to. They have a way to get your credit card information, and while you're out there in the boat, they can access your account and rip you off. So it's so many things out there. So Miss Linda, the only reason I'm having you on here is because you're my friend. And I don't
Yes,
want
sir.
to see this happen to anybody else. It's
That's right.
it's not fair, it's not right. But we live in a world now where people will take advantage of people like yourself. They'll do it to me
Yes.
if I allow it to. When you bank at the bank, you got these, they have people that monitor your activities to see how you're spending your money. And if it's a
Hmm.
problem or a red flag, they're gonna call you, you know.
Yes.
So it's even scams in the IRS.
Isn't
It's
that
crazy out
something?
there. So I just want to make sure that we get your story out there, you know,
Yes.
and you hold your head up, you stay focused, you take care of your mother, and it's going to be a matter of time that those people will be caught, you know?
Yes. And I have had people to come forth and tell me how how my situation was handled, that they got the money into their account, but they didn't know that this was a scam. They thought they were just working from home, see. So they gave me the person's uh, ID number and stuff where they sent the money. And so they have just frozen their accounts
Yeah. And it's sad,
because
you know?
she's trying to help, they're trying to help me, but
Yeah.
I just don't want people to think that Frankie Beverly did any of this.
No,
I
and
don't
then
want them
there's,
to think that he's asking anybody for any money. We can love him all we want to, but
yeah,
we got to know that that's not him.
yeah.
And that scammer is still out there. He took a picture off Frankie Beverly's page and a picture off of my page, put them together in a heart,
Mm,
and sent them to me.
yes.
And I
Well,
have blocked him. I blocked him.
but you
But
got
he
to,
sent them to me, but I put it right on my profile page so people can see. They can do anything. And
I
he put
got
it like Frankie Beverly sent it to me. Frankie Beverly didn't send me that. I wish he had.
yeah, I know. Well, I'm gonna say this as we close, and I just want to send that warning out to people. Please be careful. There are people
Yes,
that will take advantage of you. Make sure you double check everything with your family or so. You just can't trust everybody, Sister Linda.
yes. And
But God,
don't hold this against Frankie Beverly. He has done nothing.
yeah,
That's not him, people. Do not fall for it. Do
yeah,
not answer their questions. Don't get on that site thinking that you're talking to this precious man of God, because you are not. I'm
yeah,
not crying because I know God's got my back and
yeah,
he's going to see this thing through. And thank you, Frankie Beverly, for everything that you have done for this world. Thank you for changing the world. And thank you. Even those notes, I'm going to keep those notes
yeah,
because in my mind, I was talking to him.
yeah.
And
I
so
know.
that's something you live and you learn and you use things as a stepping stone. And I'm going to say, well, okay, those roses did come from him.
Yes.
So,
Hey, you know
yeah.
what? One of my favorite songs, before I let you go, is the
Ooh.
number one popular one. But the song that he does at the end, I love the most, is I want to thank you. I want
Oh, yes. When he said, thank you, Jesus.
to.
Yeah. You
So we,
are my sunshine,
oh Lord, they got it on fire now, folks.
light of my life.
Close us out, Linda. Close us out.
Yeah. And let me let you look at him on here real quick before you go.
Uh-oh.
This is what I do every day.
Well, let me tell you now we can't play the audio because on YouTube
Oh,
they're gonna
no, I
limit
did
it.
not.
Yeah, but you
I
can
did
just
not.
watch the video. There he is right there. Want you to
There he is.
watch him on a positive note and everything. So, hey, this joy I have, the Lord can't take. I mean, he can't take it away from me. The devil can't rob me of my goodness, but God
Can't
can
do it.
bless you. He can't do it. And to your mom, tell her I said hello. God bless you.
Yes.
And Linda,
And
you hold your head up.
Tell Oprah, Sherry, everybody to contact me. Somebody got to get me on their show so I can tell the whole wide world. I'm going to tell the world Frankie Beverly is legit. He didn't do none of this.
Well, I'm
I
gonna say
can't
this
blame
because
him.
we're not gonna give out no phone numbers because we can't trust nobody.
No,
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 but if
no.
they leave a message, we'll check it out. That's all I can say. Just
Thank
respond on
you.
the inbox. Be careful,
Contact Cedric.
and God bless you. And we're praying for you. God bless you,
Thank
Linda.
you so much. God bless you. Carry on.